So welcome to the Nomad Studio live stream. I want to work on this a bit more before I record the next tutorial video. I think like part of me was like feeling in this year that I was being, I guess, like less productive or something, just because I haven't been seeing, like, how to say, a lot of like significant progress in my sculpts. But then I realized that all my YouTube tutorials have been released this year, so yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I feel like sometimes I just need to remind myself like the many different things that I'm doing that is kind of like causing more slowness in like other things, and just be mindful of those things. So anyway, I want to work on this for another hopefully short tutorial, so I kind of want to just like clean up stuff a little bit to prep for that file. What's this? Oh, it's water. Okay. I didn't know that was going up to that. Oh, I see. Okay. It's like suddenly there's one drop here which I forgot that I put. I think I also probably want to make the water droplets go to, or like add one more in the middle of the face or something. Because like in some sense I can get away with symmetry on the edges of the face, but I think for like the center part of the face, then I will, yeah, I guess I can just make, let me see. Anyway, coffee for today. This is a slow pour, so you can see like the big pieces. So like, let's say if you have the picture like this, I think normally you'll be pouring like this into the cup, but to do a slow pour, you're like doing like this, which is what the name suggests, and that's how you create like bigger lines with like bigger negatives. And as you go up and cut down, it will kind of like compress the bigger white and brown lines into something that looks like this. I really like doing slow pours. Coffee is so nice. Okay, let me see. Once I'm not sure if the torso, so looking up. See. Most probably not going to show these areas, so yeah, maybe I'll just wait, I need to do this first. So learning was the lesson of the day. I guess lesson of the day is when you want to create subtle forms. So like, let's say if you know how to do the anatomy, the muscles and all that, and you want to do it underneath cloth or make it like more feminine, here's what I like to do is to draw the line and then smooth that out so that it feels actually it's a bit hard to see. Let me find an angle. So like this. Oh my god. Oh, no, this worse. Maybe this is. So this is a way that I like to work to like flesh out the shapes. but then not like make it too prominent. I feel like maybe it's not really that well-known thing to some people, because like I guess it's kind of like a recent thing that I realized that I learned myself. I mean, not super recent, but like relatively recent, I guess, is that it's very hard to gain muscle even when you work out. So it's quite difficult for guys, unless like you have your newbie gains and stuff. And it's even more difficult for girls because of our genetics. But I think like some people don't really understand that. And like when they get bigger, which is kind of like usually, I mean, for the average person that doesn't live a lot, they'll think that they gain muscle mass when it's like kind of a lot more fat mass. Like, you know, there's this saying that, wait, is this? Yeah. Like, there are girls who are like terrified of becoming big if they lift weights. Like, if you know how hard it is to just get muscle, that's a really laughable thing. But anyway, I tend to like soften up the. I know that I say that the stream is for hair, but I kind of like got distracted. But I guess that's what morning tiredness does to you. Let me see. Eventually this needs to be asymmetrical because she is rotating. But for now everything is covered, so it's not too bad. There's something that I learned from like working with more, what to say, more like Western art style influence, and then seeing like how people approach the female form and all that. Typically this happens more in like the Western side, or I don't know, European, or like, yeah. Is that I think is it because there's such a like strong foundation in like doing live drawing, and like live drawing you do want like the crisp lines and like showing like all the different anatomy parts, like all the different muscles and all that. And not that like there are people who do it really well and make like they draw really feminine forms, but I think in the most part, like there are quite a lot of people who like kind of bring that theory from life drawing and apply it to their drawing and modeling of female forms, and it feels really masculine. Like even if they make the girl like, I don't know, feminine or sexy or something, I think in the most part, a lot of the finally doing hair. Yeah, a lot of the is it a lot, or I just haven't been seeing enough? Yeah, a lot of the forms that I see have like strong foundations in like anatomy and all that, but then doesn't have the, like, I would say, the essence of girls. But yeah, so it is something that I am very careful about when I do girls, that I make them like more smooth out. Need today's about hair, not about those stuff. Yeah, especially over clothes, I will smooth out a lot more than if it was just like the bad skin. Actually, this is still not. And it's like, it's quite hard to see, but shit. Just make it brighter. Like even the clothes fold. Your clothes fold should be asymmetrical, but I'm just like making it for now. Clothes folds for another time. Just want to progress this a little bit. Right, it's not like girls can't get jacked, especially Western, like Caucasian, like the genetics are really strong. But when it comes to like more Asian girls and actually just girls in general, it's very difficult to get muscle. But I've seen some jacked Asian girls, especially in climbing. Like you see quite a lot of them, but they're usually quite lean and slim because they don't have the fats to create the bulk of the shape. They just have muscle. So like I think I haven't really seen a girl who in person who is big and lean. Usually if they're big and they're strong, like it's because there's still some fat over them. But I think like this is not really what a lot of people know or like understand. Anyway, I don't really know why I'm talking about this, but maybe because I find it cool. Like It's like growing up among girls who are scared of becoming big, lifting weights. Wait, I should just cut this. Yeah, this looks a lot cleaner. I don't really know what I want the design to be, so for now it's just like one simple thing. I think it's also why I'm quite motivated to do strength training. Just knowing like how difficult it is to gain muscle mass. Like, because it's more about consistent work over the years. And I highly recommend it. Especially when it comes to like working on a desk job. Like, you're gonna get a lot of chronic injuries from sitting down all day and all that stuff. Strength training is a pretty good way to, I mean, if you know what you're doing, to counter those injuries. Is that too much? Hello, how Ortiz. I feel like I've seen your name before. I'm sorry if I don't remember. But yay! I'm happy that you like it. I don't think I can finish this one this year, but I think I want to like progress it enough to use it for tutorial materials. But also I'm still quite stuck with like how I want the hair to look like, so I feel like if I just work on it more, then I can figure things out. Like these pixels are distracting, so I'm going to smooth these out a bit. Maybe I should focus on creating bigger shapes. Trying to even out both sides. think because there's quite a lot of details, and it's kind of like not enough variations, I think. So I'm trying to add bigger lines. Just longer lines, but I'm still pretty mindful that this size, the length of like the curves is she's quite dark here, is quite similar across the board. So there's definitely one big shape over here. I'm like quite influenced by my plants, so you can see like the type of flow that they have. It's very pretty. So I think I try to bring these kind of things into these. I'm trying to get the shape of the stem of the way that the stem connects to the leaf. I think that's always like one of the prettiest area to draw. Of course, this is like, I think I'm on the wrong focal plane something, but it's also really tiny because this has shrunk from drawing out. I think one of the areas that I really focus on when doing plants is just like the form of the overall leaf and how much it kind of like turns over each other and how it connects to the stem. Like that is really important to me. That's like really one of the prettiest things. It's also one of the most fascinating parts of a plant. So just constantly like sculpting things in and then zooming out, repeat the cycle. The thing is like I'm not really sure how I want this edge to be like. So I think I should just leave it alone for now. And maybe I should split this up. Or maybe I don't need to, it's not such a big area. Yeah, you know what, maybe I should. Okay. Something about the split tool is that split tool doesn't really retain high detail, so it's a lot better to do split tools at the beginning of any sculpt, because you lose some detail with split tool. Like, I think over here, I'm not sure whether it's a bit up or am I just imagining things, but like when the detail gets really high, then the resolution will like lower down if you do a split. Go. Well, your sentence makes sense, so don't worry. Where does my inspiration come from? Well, like plants is one of them. I like girls. I like pretty girls. Recently, like K-pop has been my inspiration for like the badass girl vibe, I guess. And recently also Japanese manga is a big inspiration. Actually, Korean manhwa has been pretty like high up on the list too. Like I feel like it's so insane that they do a weekly schedule of like, yeah, like drawing one chapter with full color. Like, it's so insane. For this particular one, sometimes there'll be like times when like I have, oh actually, so this one was kind of inspired by my painting, which is like this work in progress painting, and then I was like, I kind of want to do this in 3D, so I did. But the other thing is, I don't remember what the inspiration for this was. I think the inspiration was just like this pose popped up in my head, and then I just decided to do it, and then everything else kind of followed. And then for this particular one, like after I started the hits, wait, was it before or after I started sculpting? Oh, actually, wait, sorry, I got my timeline a bit wrong. For this particular one, which was also why I wanted to do this in 3D, was like I had like this sudden mental image of like I wanted to do like a wet face look, and like I just wanted to do it. And then a few days later I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I started sculpting her face, and I started why are you so low poly? And then I just started the rest of the sculpt based on the drawing that I did. I would say like I'm heavily inspired by Japanese and Korean character art, I guess. Like for this particular one, I was reading quite a lot of where was it from? Oh, I read BL too. Boys love stuff. The Korean boys love scene is like so epic. It's so cool. Like this one, BL called Regas, Regas. That one is so funny. But like what I like about BL, which is like it's like totally unexpected because it's like mostly guys, is that like in some sense there's still this like rigid sense of even though the couple's like boys and boy, like two guys, there's still like this kind of like one of the guy takes the guy role and then one of the guy takes the female role, like kind of like that. But then the way that they do, a lot of them, or at least the one that I like to read, the ones taking the female, like the so-called female role, are really badass. And there was one where I was reading where like they were wearing these kinds of is this leather or no? Where these kinds of I don't want you to come out because that will ruin the let's push you in. Where they wear like these type of clothing, and then oh wait, no, that was like a girl, and there was a lady in that particular comic that wears things like this. And like I'm not really sure like why is it about BL artists, but they do girls so well. Like super cool and pretty girls. They do it so well. I don't know why. I'm like, tell me your secret. And yeah, it's just so weird that it'd be done so well in people who like to draw BL. Anyway. In the most recent case, I've been inspired by those things. But yeah, I like a lot of things, which is also a problem because it means that I like too many things and everything's like all over the place. I'm kind of jealous of people who likes like one specific thing. And they're like consistent. They're like a consistent character in life. But I was never one of those. So that was kind of something that I struggled with, and I realized that I don't really need to care about liking too many things, because if I'm just able to like put all of them into my art, then that is considered consistency. Recently I've been more inspired by I forgot what the name of this manga is. Wait, what's this one? Recently I found this out a bit before the anime came out, and I read up to like to the latest chapter before the anime release. Yeah, the way that she draw girls, she's the assistant manga artist for Soul Eater, which is why the art is very Soul Eater like, I guess. But like the way that she do girls too is like, oh my god, so awesome. Yeah, I really like the way that she draws girls. And I forgot like who. There's a support. Like this character who is like a side support character who appeared in probably like the second latest episode in the anime series. It's like, yeah, so fucking cool. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty things everywhere. There's information overload, I guess. I think that's something that I've been trying to figure out, like how to deal with information overload, because like I realized that when I like too many things and I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, that it kind of changes the trajectory of where your art is going for like that specific piece. So after doing like a lot more work and just like forcing myself to be more consistent and pushing things out, then I kind of like picked up that when it comes to doing art, it's like, let's say if this one was inspired by a few things that I've seen, then I kind of just try to remember that the things that I've chosen for like the vibe of this, for the design, and then just stick, kind of like just like lock it off. Because every day I'm going to see new things, or like many different pretty things with like different art styles, different characterization, and it's just like you can just spend hours every day just like changing everything to like what you feel is nice at the current moment. So yeah, and I hope that will help you too, if that is something that you find difficult. Because like at the end of the day, the most important thing is just finishing things and pushing things out. And then just like at the back of the head, just remember, at least this is like what I do every single day or like every single minute. I keep telling myself, like, if there's this cool new idea or like this beautiful thing that I just saw, then do it for the next one. Yeah, so that's how I kind of keep consistency for like each of the piece that I'm doing, and that way I can kind of like keep track of my progress and like not deviate too much from all the cool shit that I'm seeing. But it's not that I'm like completely locked out from any changes and ideas. It's more of like, if it really, if it's like too much of a change, then like I know to back it off. I guess in some sense it's like creating a character for each of your art pieces and keep that consistent. I feel like I haven't really done that much to this because pretty slow. And I find like that's the way that I can like many things, but at the same time be quite focused on the thing that I'm working on at the moment. Because I realize like it's just the nature of the internet. You're going to be so exposed to so many things, and you're just going to find a lot more things that you like. Like that's just how it is, unless I guess you're a consistent character. But I'm not. I like a lot of things. Like even my music taste like ranges from R&B to like indie K-pop and all that, to game music. So everything is nice. So I like to give equal time to all of them. Yeah, like I used, like, it's kind of weird, but I used to be ashamed that I like so many things. like I feel like, oh my god, I'm not consistent. But over time I'm like, no, it's cool to like many things. But yeah, when it comes to art, then just have like the storyboard of like what each character or each art piece are like, and just stick with it. I'm not really sure what I want to do at the top side. But I think, let me see. When things intersect like this, hello Jupiter. How much are you going to sculpt? A lot. It kind of reminds me of like my mermaid one too. Should I just trim this off? But I think it's because like I have all the tutorials to go through too, so like, my god, my progress on these things are so slow. So yeah, I'm just going to like bore you guys with a lot more hair stuff. I think that's better. And sometimes like when it comes to things that are hidden inside, even though it's hidden, I try to still keep the shapes. Like, let's say if the hair shape is going like this, I try to make the hidden parts also like follow the same flow. Because when you do that, then it makes it a lot easier to sculpt the visible areas. This one's not really the best example. I think it's a lot more straightforward when it comes to doing like maybe the like arms and stuff. Like let's say if the inside is like this, then when it comes to making the delts, it becomes more difficult to create this round shape. Whereas if it's round inside, then it's a lot easier for me to shape like this whole big shape like that. So I do like sculpt the insides. Pretty close to what it looks like. On the outside. So I want to leave here. I'm just not really sure what I want it to look like yet. I think something that I've been consistent of though is that I've always liked to draw long hair, like girls' hair especially. Like I used to like drawing faces with really long hair. I feel like that kind of feeds into my sculpts too. And maybe that's probably why I spend a really long time with hair, because it is a big part of the things that I like to do. I think this should be... Wait, what time did I start? Am I starting something related a hobby? Well, I want to do it as a full-time eventually. But in terms of like I would say that I am self-studying. And I want to aim to get into something full-time. Although I haven't thought that far yet, because it's like I've only gotten like very consistent since like 2023. So yeah, trying things out. Like everything sounds like excuses, but I feel like I was spending like so much time on certain things last time that is not art related, and I feel like I don't regret spending those times, but it kind of just means that I'm like rushing to catch up right now. Even in terms of like making videos and all that, there's still a lot for me to learn. Yeah, I would like to study. Oh, you want to study 3D? That's cool. Although like when it comes to 3D, because I went through like a 3D animation workflow school course, 3D animation course. I'm not really sure whether that's like yeah, I can't really I don't really know what like the 3D school is like now. But like if you go into the mainstream like 3D stuff, it would be more on learning how to do 3D modeling to like rigging, animation, lighting, rendering. Not really that much on sculpting. I'm not sure whether there's like a sculpting specific one. But Nomad Sculpt is so good right now, and there's so many good tutorials out there. Like I think when it comes, like if I want to think about like if you're a graphic artist and you want to dip a little bit in 3D, I think there's like, I don't know what the channel name is, but there's a channel who, or maybe two channels who uses Nomad Sculpt, and they do like graphic design stuff, and that one's pretty cool. Like I think you can look that up, and I think maybe if you learn from their tutorials, I think you might be able to incorporate what you're learning right now into a 3D space. And it's always cool to like be able to bring things in like from 2D to 3D and all that stuff. Yeah, no problem. I think they'll teach you how to do like creating a word, which is a very graphic design thing. Like maybe, was it one of them was magic or something? And then it'll be like MAGIC, and then they'll teach you how to do like different materials for each of the object, and you can do quite cool stuff with it. And it's very graphic design route when it comes to those kind of art pieces. I feel like it's so cool. Like you can, if I were in school right now and if I were doing graphic design, usually graphic design, I guess like you guys would be using Illustrator, right? Like Adobe Illustrator or something. Actually thinking back, man, I really wish that Nomad Sculpt existed when I was still in school. It's so cool. I would say like one of my this is more, the amount of RAM that your iPad has is more relevant, but I think like when it comes to simple stylized sculpts, it's still fine. But what I find like very motivating for me right now is just being able to paint with like post-processing and lit P bar mode, like real-time lighting in Nomad Sculpt. Like just being able to see these colors and the lights interacting with what I'm sculpting right now is, it's just like it's so fun. You don't know how to use it. Yeah, it's quite a big learning curve to go from 2D to 3D. Oh wait, you're talking about Illustrator? I had some experience with Adobe Illustrator because I was kind of like helping out, like my best friend. My best friend does like graphic design, and her art is very like kind of like flat 2D kind of style. But she was like helping out with the school's graphic design, kind of like making posters and all that for the school marketing side. And I helped out quite a bit at that point, a short while at that time. And that was when I learned how to use Illustrator too. And I also kind of learned a little bit from her how to use Illustrator. Illustrator is so good for making a set of prints. Yeah, Photoshop is... I haven't used Photoshop in a while, but that was like, oh my god, that was another learning curve. I'm kind of jealous of people who picked up Photoshop in art school and then they became like some of the best painters in the world. But Photoshop was quite a big learning curve too. But it's kind of like one of those things where like once you get through that huge learning curve, that you realize that all the complicated functions are really helpful to create whatever you need. Like there's more flexibility when you have more things that you can use, or like more things to separate. I think something that I really like, that I miss from Photoshop, because right now I use Procreate. Like with Photoshop, I like how you can separate all the grading, like color grading, into different layers. So yeah, having adjustment layers is really cool. And then when it comes to, oh yeah, like so with the Illustrator is really good for making a whole set of what's it, images to print. Like that's what is really good for making vectors, so that you have, is it lossless or non-pixelated images? You can use like Pantone colors, set the Pantone colors so that the print comes out exactly what you need. And then you have like you can set like multiple canvases, and then you can like lay them out. Let's say if all your canvases are like A3 prints and you have like 8 A3 prints, it's just so easy to like lay all of them out and get them print ready. So that's like the main feature that I really like from Illustrator. Whenever you want to print stuff, like let's say for the like the graduation portfolio, where you have a folder of A3 stuff, and then probably have like 20 pages or 20. Do I have 20 pages for my portfolio? I forgot. But let's say if I have 20 pages for the portfolio, it's so easy to just like lay them all out nicely. Then all the bleed, like the 3mm bleed that you need for A3 prints, something like that, it's so easy to just like create them. Or if you want to have like borders, it's super easy to just create like rectangle shapes to line them up, and everything kind of snaps together. I wish that there's that kind of capability in an iPad app. Like that is really good. So like kind of the workflow for if you have access to the school Adobe license, or if you have your own license, but then having like both Adobe and Photoshop is so expensive. Like my friend was complaining, like she used like Illustrator and Photoshop and not Lightroom. Like why can't they just make a Illustrator and Photoshop bundle? Like I don't really understand. Yeah. Illustrator is supreme quality. So yeah, the workflow would be to, if you do more like concept art stuff or painting and illustration instead of vector art, then do those things in Photoshop and then bring those things into Illustrator to lay everything out, like so that you can see all the different pages and see them as a whole, and then export them as a PDF, because PDF is actually, I don't really know why it works, but PDF is like the highest quality for print. Actually, what, I don't understand why. Then export them out as PDF, go to the printing shop and get everything printed out. I do all those things now with Procreate, but whenever I'm maybe this is nice. Yeah, whenever I'm using Procreate, like it frustrates me so much. The UI, like everything is so, it's really not user friendly. It's only user friendly when like you want to like just paint, I guess. I'm not really sure. So I think it's true. I still export to PDF now for print. I think it works out the best. Like there used to be other formats like TIFF, TIFF, or I'm not sure Targa was being used, or was that maybe Targa was just more for 3D rendering to compositing. Yeah, I guess that's not for print. But then like we encountered a printer shop whose like printer just like the images were so, the print was like so bad with TIFF, like the format was just not working. And then she was like, TIFF is not like good for print, like it's more of a US thing or whatever. And then so just PDF now. I guess so. Well, thank you for listening to me, even though maybe you might not understand me. Yeah, I think that is, let me see, this part is a bit weird. So I'm just going around and compressing the shapes if I need to. Okay, I feel like one of the most is it like uncomfortable or what's the word? One of the things that you'll be feeling like quite thrown off if you do decide to go into 3D. Yeah, I'm also trying to understand myself. But one of the things that will like stand out a lot if you jump into 3D is just like, it's just the fact that you're dealing with a 360 degrees scene, because in 2D it's just like flat, and you do think about perspective or like depth and all that with layers, but with 3D it's like you have to deal with all these. It's a little bit more straightforward when you're doing like graphic design stuff, where like you probably would have a more static camera, and then maybe you might only just rotate like this, but it's still quite similar in like you have to think about how the lattice move around in 3D space. Like I think the closest that I have would be this one, where there are lattice around, and like in 2D you do need to think about the depth of it, but you're just going to draw it out. In 3D space you have to think about the different angles. So when I made this one, I was looking at like, how does it look like from this angle, how does it look like from this angle. So it's not just about the front, unless you're restricting the camera to only like this, then maybe these doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, I think that's it for today. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll be going off now. I'll see you next time. How Ortiz. But yeah, bye.